Massive day of competition. We're just gonna breathe for the moment, guys. It's been emotional. Huge,
1 minute.
Huge day. We're vibing in the studio here. We've seen all sorts, hammers thrown down, huge performances in the water. The swell just kept pumping throughout the day. Myself, Paul Evans, in the studio with Peter Mel and Ben Mundy, breaking it all down. We're going to talk about some highlights, pick out some key moments. But in a word, what a huge day of competition. And France, once again, doesn't let us down, guys.
We kind of went through this yesterday too, right? Where we just saw all sorts of conditions happen. We had the tide switch. I mean, again, massive tides here in France. That played a major role. But then we had the wind that went onshore, glassy, onshore, glassy, onshore, glassy. I mean, pretty much all day long it changed. And that's what we expect at France. So it really is kind of what we expected.
Ben, we had some tricky points in the day, but it came good in the end. And just while we come back and revisit that ball, let's go and hear from a man who basically in the booth had all sorts of things flying around in the air. He threw through the air for a massive 9.3. Samuel Pupo, he's with Joanna.
Yeah.
How did that air feel?
It felt good, but even though it was really high, I was kind of confused on how the score was going to be, because a couple heats before, Mateus was doing some huge airs and was getting low scores. So I was just trying to not get too excited about it, but it was ended up being a big score.
And when you heard that score, you had to get the backup.
Yeah, I had to. It's kind of a little bit like nervous, just trying to find a way. But after a big score, you just want to get a backup fast, and I did that, so I was happy.
Well, good luck in the next round. You're doing great.
Thank you.
Massive air from Samuel Pupo. Big performance from him. Always an entertainer. Loving the energy that he brought. But really, that wasn't kind of an isolated incident. We had that throughout the day. Let's cast our mind back. It has been a big day. Roxy Pro ran this morning in the women, Pete. Again, some epic performances.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go to Alyssa Spencer. I think Alyssa Spencer's consistency throughout this event so far has been solid. She's crawling up that ranking. She's right there, tasting that top 6. But I like her performance today. Brisa Hennessy was another surfer that I was very proud of today that had a big heat against Macy Callahan, and she had to provide a big number. She got herself 8s. And so I think in the women, those two were the standouts for me.
I like Sawyer Lindblad. I think Sawyer was absolutely on fire. Those left-handers really, perhaps because I haven't seen it as much as her surf as the girls you mentioned, so a bit more of a surprise factor, but I thought she was CT level. She looked amazing.
Let's get into the Roxy ride of the day, and it's this woman here, Brisa Hennessy, showing her class.
Absolutely showing her class. Utilizing the rail. I mean, she's been really a surfer of the world, bred in Costa Rican waters, but also spent a lot of times in Hawaii, obviously in Fiji for a moment now. So she is a class act and a great baker.
And on the men's side, really, could only be one man. We just saw him. Let's have another look and admire this beauty.
Yeah, he was unsure of what that score was going to be, but I tell you what, it was massive. And, we waited all day for something that exceptional, and it came in the last sort of 15 minutes of the day.
Woke us up, huh? Way better than coffee.
Yeah, for sure.
It capped off a big day. We had all sorts of conditions. Pete, Ben and I were staying positive about it. You thought it was tricky at one point. I guess that's because, for Ben and I, the hydro flask is always half full, right?
And mine's always half empty. Oh, come on.
But we've had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of everything today, and we've been looking at tomorrow, some big storm energy.
The hydro flask was at quarter full. It went to 3/4 full. Then we drank some.
And we got a lot of energy coming out the ocean tomorrow. I actually saw some preparations down at our structure. People moving things back landward. Big swell coming tomorrow, maybe 6 to 8 foot range, maybe bigger, possibly a bit of wind too. It could get hairy down here.
Yeah, it could be. And I mean, even Byrne, our security director, said, hey, the site's not opening up until we do a safety assessment when we get here early in the morning. And that means something. It means that tonight we're probably going to have some wind, and we're probably going to have some water, and maybe some out of the sky. So we'll see.
However, what we do know, Ben, is that we could get quality waves even when it's onshore. Meanwhile, speaking of quality, we saw flashes of that from Fred Moraes. We're going to have a chat, Joanna and him, down there on the beach.
Quality for sure. You never seem to disappoint. How was it?
It was really fun. Actually, throughout the high tide, I was kind of questioning the call. It's too high, it's really wobbly, it's really bumpy.
You're complaining?
Yeah, we always complain. We're complainers. No, but ended up being really fun. Fun for me. I got 2 really good waves, and yeah, made it to the next round. Stoked.
Great job. Back to you guys.
Another massive performance from Fred Moraes, always an entertainer, always deadly. He won't mind if it juices up tomorrow. We're expecting things to ramp up considerably. Some energy from the ocean still. Could be pretty fun down here. And for that reason, we're going to come back for a 7:35 a.m. call for a possible 8:05 start. We're going to send you out with some highlight. Thanks for tuning in today. WorldSurfLeague.com. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Thanks for tuning in.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.